हेलो एवरीवन। आज हम अपने इस वीडियो में करेंगे क्लास 6 इंग्लिश द इंग्लिश चैनल बुक का चैप्टर 2 निक के क्वेश्चन आंसर्स। आपको अगर निक चैप्टर का एक्सप्लेनेशन चाहिए तो आप मुझे कमेंट बॉक्स में लिखकर बता सकते हैं, तो उसका वीडियो जल्दी अपलोड कर दिया जाएगा। तो चलिए इस चैप्टर के क्वेश्चन आंसर्स स्टार्ट करते हैं। A. Arrange these sentences in the correct order. So, in the correct order, number 1. Once Nick Allen had turned Miss Devier's room into a tropical island. 2. Nick had carpeted the floor with sand. 3. The custodian saw the sand in the hallway and complained to the principal. 4. The third grade trip to the South Seas ended suddenly. 5. Nick let out a high, squeaky blackbird peep. 6. Nick noticed that Mrs. Avery's nose was curved like a beak of a hawk. 7. Mrs. Avery pounced on Janet Fisk to stop making the noise. 8. Mrs. Avery quickly realized her mistake and apologized to Janet. 9. Janet liked Nick's experiment and started making the blackbird creep. 10. There was a peep once every week and Miss Avery trained herself to ignore it. Question B. Answer these questions with the reference to the context. First one. The third grade trip to the South Seas ended suddenly. A. Did the third grade really make a trip to the South Seas? Why or why not? Answer. No. The third grade did not make a trip to the South Seas. It was a creative project initiated by the Nick Allen. B. Why did the trip end suddenly? Answer. The trip ended suddenly because it was not a real trip but a creative transformation of the classroom by Nick Allen. C. Compare the reactions of Miss Devier and the principal to the third grade trip. Answer. Miss Devier appreciated the creativity of the students, while the principal was concerned about the mess created by the sand in the hallway. Second reference to the context. So, Nick let out a high, squeaky blackbird peep. A. Explain in your own words what Nick did. Answer. Nick made a high-pitched, creeping sound like that of a blackbird. B. From where had Nick learned the sound of the blackbird? Answer. Nick learned the sound of the blackbird from a TV show. Question number 3. Where was Nick when he let out the peep? Do you think it was right to do this? Answer. Nick was in Mrs. Avery's classroom when he let out the peep, and it was not appropriate because it disrupted the class. Answer these questions briefly. 1. How did Nick turn Miss Devier's room into a tropical island? Answer. Nick turned Miss Devier's room into a tropical island by decorating it with paper palm trees, sand on the floor, and having the students wear summer attire. Question number 2. How did Miss Devier contribute to Nick Allen's creativity project? Answer. Miss Devier contributed the Nick Allen's creativity project by appreciating and encouraging the students' creative ideas. Question number 3. What did the principal of Lincoln Elementary School see when she came to the Nick's class? Answer. The principal of Lincoln Elementary School saw chaos and unconventional activities in Nick class, including sand on the floor and students engaged in beach themed activities. Question number 4. What was the great blackbird discovery? Answer. The great blackbird discovery was Nick's realization that red-winged blackbird emit a high-pitched creep when danger approaches, which he used to play a prank in class. Question number 5. Why did Nick apologize to Janet? How did she respond to the revelation made by Nick? Answer. Nick apologized to Janet because she was wrongly scolded by Mrs. Avery for making the creeping sound. Janet responded by being surprised but also found it interesting and promised to keep it a secret. Question number 6. How did Mrs. Avery deal with the loud peep in the classroom? Answer. Mrs. Avery dealt with the loud peep in her classroom by attempting to identify the culprit but eventually ignored it when she couldn't figure it out. तो ये तो हो गए इस चैप्टर के क्वेश्चन आंसर्स. आपको कैसे लगे ये मुझे ज़रूर बताइए और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा शेयर करिए अगर आपको इससे पसंद आता है, आपके लिए हेल्पफुल है तो. और अगर अभी तक मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो सब्सक्राइब कर लें. तो ये तो हमने किए इस चैप्टर के क्वेश्चन आंसर्स. अगर आपको इसका एक्सप्लेनेशन चाहिए तो आप मुझे कमेंट बॉक्स में लिखकर बता सकते हैं, तो आपको वीडियो जल्द ही अपलोड कर दिया जाएगा. आपको मेरा वीडियो कैसा लगा? अगर हेल्पफुल लगा तो लाइक करें, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा शेयर करें, और अभी तक आपने मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो सब्सक्राइब कर लें. बेल आइकन प्रेस करना ना भूलें जिससे कि आपको आने वाले वीडियोज़ के न्यू अपडेट्स मिलते रहें. थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग. पसंद आया हो तो लाइक करें, शेयर करें और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें.